Look at this guy, Steve Weatherford. Steve, hey, how about this? The Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, said, you guys, the Giants, faked injuries. So I ask you, did the Giants fake injuries? And what's your reaction and your message, your personal message to Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones, dear Jerry Jones, be happy with the win. We'll see you soon.
So did you fake injuries?
No, we didn't fake injuries. You know, one thing that you can always depend on for Coach Coughlin is playing by the rules. You know, he will never be in the gray area. We don't want to win like that. You know, that's not something that's going to satisfy us. You know, we want to beat a team because we execute better and we have a better game plan, and that's just not something Coach Coughlin's willing to do.
Steve, I was all in on Chip Kelly when the Eagles hired him. Obviously feeling great about that after last night. What's your take after watching the game? You think that Philadelphia can make a run in the division? What's your take on that offense?
Well, you know, as a fan, first and foremost, I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. You know, it's a high-energy offense. You know, I thought Deshaun Jackson did a great job last night. Mike Vick looks actually pretty comfortable considering he hasn't really played that style of offense in quite some time. You know, he's kind of a run-and-shoot type of guy when he's in Atlanta. But, you know, moving forward, I think they're going to be a really difficult team to game plan for, seeing that they don't have a lot of film to watch at this point. It's an explosive offense, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
You know, Steve, Adam and I just debated after coming off your a tough loss, ugly-looking loss at times to the Cowboys. Can anything positive be taken from that loss on Sunday night?
Well, you know, I mean, that's a great question. With 5 turnovers and 1 on special teams with a muffed punt and still having several opportunities to still win the game, I thought, you know, there's definitely takeaways to be had from there because we played our worst game that I've ever been a part of as a New York Giant, and we still had a chance to win, you know, several chances to win. So, you know, one thing that Coach Coughlin preaches day in and day out is take care of the ball. Obviously, we didn't execute that. And moving forward, ball security is going to be of the utmost importance for us, you know, preparing for the Denver Broncos, because we know when Peyton Manning comes to town, you know, that's just not something that we can afford to do is hand them a few turnovers because we've got to make the possessions count because he's going to be putting a lot of points on the board if we're not careful.
Wow, worst game for you ever as a Giant, and that obviously was the mindset, I'm sure, on the plane going home. All right, you referenced the ball security. How did the Giants get David Wilson to get it, and what's your reaction to the Giants bringing back Brandon Jacobs?
Well, I think it's going to be a morale boost, you know, because he's a mental, a spiritual, and a physical leader for us. He's a guy that brings a lot of intensity to our team in the locker room. Pre-game, the speeches he gives are absolutely epic. I'm excited to have him back because he's probably one of the most intense players I've ever played with in the National Football League, and you know, I think we're going to welcome him back with open arms. He's a guy that we absolutely love.
How about David Wilson? How do you guys, how does the coaching staff, how do you get him to ultimately get it, hold on to the football? Do you give him a hug? Why is the confidence level just so down here for David Wilson?
I don't think it's a confidence issue at all. You know, I think it's a technical issue. You know, and I think that's something that he's going to have to adjust. He can do it. We all know that he has the ability. He's got more ability than 90% of the running backs in the NFL. However, you know, it comes down to a technical and mechanical point where you have to secure the ball because, you know, especially when you're playing a defense like Dallas and Monty Kiffin, where they're ball strippers. You know, they thrive on creating turnovers, and that's exactly what they did to us. And so moving forward, I think it's going to be very important for David, in order for him to get back onto the field and get out of Coach Coughlin's doghouse, is to protect the ball. He knows that. We all know that. And there's nobody in our locker room who it means more to than David Wilson. So the problem will be fixed.
Steve, you mentioned you guys taking on the Broncos, Eli taking on his brother. How about the locker room? Any talk about Eli going up against Peyton? Maybe extra emphasis put on that game in that locker room?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure that Eli Manning's going to want to beat his big brother, but at the same time, you know, we're 0-1 right now, and so the most important thing for us right now is to get a good, clean, crisp practice in on Wednesday and move forward from there. You know, we don't want to treat this game as it is, you know, it is the Super Bowl, but it's very important for us because the last thing we want to do is start ourselves out in a hole of 0-2. You know, we want to get this thing back to 500 and go on from there, but it's going to be a contest because, you know, as we all saw last week with Peyton Manning putting up 7 touchdowns, 462 yards passing, and spread the ball around. You know, it wasn't like he was just going to Welker the entire time. And he's got a lot of weapons out there, and their special teams and their defense is playing well too. So we've got a great contest moving forward, but one thing that I can be assured of is that Coach Coughlin will have a great game plan for us. And I think, you know, in order to get the win, it's going to fall on us as players, and it's going to fall on execution.
He is Giants punter Steve Weatherford. Good luck on Sunday, Steve. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, guys, it's always a blast, man. Thank you.